Hi, Bill Lethman here from Lethman Financial. Welcome back to part one of our four-part series on rethinking retirement income. Here in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the biggest risks facing retirees today. Now, there's many risks that we could talk about, but here's what I think are some of the biggest risks that can cause your retirement to fail. I'll get into each one of these in more detail later. Longevity risk, people are living longer, rising costs like healthcare, income uncertainty, and market uncertainty. It's probably not a surprise that people are living longer, and this is especially true of baby boomers. Today's retirement generation is healthier and more active than their parents. They're eating healthier, going to the gym, and generally taking better care of themselves. All this, in addition to advancements in medicine, have greatly increased the average life expectancy. In fact, over the last 60 years, life expectancy has increased by more than 10 years. What this means is that the average American will need 120 additional monthly income payments to help cover their expenses. In fact, if you're a couple age 65 today, there's a 50% chance that at least one of you will live to age 92. So depending on your age when you retire, you could spend more time in retirement than you did while you're working. Your money may have to last you for 30 or even 40 years. Rising prices are the second challenge to our retirement success. We certainly don't have to look very far to see the effects of inflation. Between 1988 and 2008, we saw these basic costs of living increase significantly. Food prices up 72%, gas was up 191%, utilities were up 109%. Now, while you're working, you probably didn't pay a whole lot of attention to inflation. More than likely, you received regular pay raises, cost of living adjustments, and promotions. So even though things were getting more expensive, you were still improving your lifestyle. Once you retire, your income will generally become more fixed. Also keep in mind that this was a period of relatively low inflation. Rising healthcare costs are certainly among the top financial concerns for most baby boomers, and when you see statistics like this, you can certainly see why. Between 2000 and 2009, healthcare costs rose 149%. That's 4 times faster than the average income increased over the same time period. In fact, incomes only rose by 37% over that same period. In fact, a 65-year-old couple can expect to spend about $295,000 during their retirement on health insurance premiums and out-of-pocket medical expenses if they live to age 84. If they live to age 95, the amount nearly doubles. When I first read this statistic, I really didn't believe it, but after I started adding some rough numbers in my head, I can totally see how this is possible. Medicare insurance currently costs about $150 per month, so a 65-year-old couple can expect to pay at least $72,000 into Medicare. This does not include any Medigap insurance, prescriptions, or copays, and also doesn't account for any increases or inflation. The next major risk is income uncertainty. As I mentioned in my introduction, baby boomers will need to be more self-reliant when it comes to their retirement income. This is because 2 primary traditional income sources are changing very rapidly: pensions and Social Security. The fact is that traditional pension plans are disappearing. Today, only 45% of Fortune 100 companies offer pensions to new hires. That's down from 90% in 1998. Additionally, many companies have frozen their pension plans, so employees stop growing their benefit. Now, we all know that Social Security is a pay-as-you-go system, which means that the people working today are paying for the benefits of the people that are collecting them. There is no Social Security trust fund or pool that we draw from. According to a recent study, more than half of all Americans who are 15 to 20 years from retirement believe they're more likely to be hit by lightning than they are to receive their full Social Security benefits from the government. As we all know, Social Security has some pretty big problems. Most experts agree that it'll be very difficult for it to continue the way that it has in the past. Benefits will need to be cut. Although some of the current proposals to fix Social Security don't make any material changes to anyone 55 and older, some of the potential fixes for Social Security being discussed are no COLA or cost of living adjustment. I think this is an easy one, and they're already doing it. As you may already know, Social Security benefits were frozen for 2 years in a row for 2010 and 2011. We did, however, get an increase for 2012. Means testing. This means that they could potentially reduce or eliminate your benefit based on how much they think you need it. It could be based on a certain income level or how much you have saved in retirement accounts. The goal would be for them to use the money from people they feel don't really need it in order to continue to fund benefits for people they feel do need it. Raising the retirement age. They've already done this several times. Social Security was originally set up to pay benefits at age 65. Now the full retirement age for most of the baby boom generation is 66, and for younger workers it's 67. Changing the retirement age could be another way to help Social Security stay above water. Given the fact that 75% of retirees collect benefits early, this could have a huge impact on a lot of retirement plans. Tax it more. Currently, about a third of the people who collect Social Security pay taxes on up to 85% of their benefits. Lowering the income threshold would make benefits taxable to a higher percent of the population, raising more money to help keep the system going. They could also raise the limit on the percentage of benefits that can be taxed. This is currently at 85%, but it could be increased so that all of your benefits could be subject to tax. Lastly, they could just flat out cut benefits. This is probably the least favored among politicians due to the somewhat obvious fallout that would likely occur. Market uncertainty is the fourth major risk. If you retired pretty much any time in the 80s or 90s, you would have had very little trouble maintaining your retirement income. But for anyone who retired in the last decade, things were significantly different. The first decade of the new millennium has gone down in history as one of the worst ever for stocks. In fact, if you had invested $100,000 in the S&P 500 on January 1st, 2000, by December 31st, 2009, your investment would have dropped to just over $90,000. If you had taken a modest 5% or $5,000 withdrawal each year, your investment would be down to less than $38,000. I'm going to spend a lot more time on this in part 3, but chances would be very good that this person would probably run out of money in their lifetime. So we know that that was a really bad decade, but what can we expect over the long run? Well, on average, since 1900, we usually see the market drop 5% about 3 times a year. We see a 10% drop in the market about once a year, a 15% drop once every other year, and a 20% drop once every 3 years. Many people are surprised when they learn just how often the stock market goes through these corrections. So there you have it, the biggest risks facing retirees today. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through a case study to show you the basic steps to get yourself organized from a financial perspective. Oh, one more thing, if you haven't already downloaded the Retirement Survival Guide from our website, be sure to do that before you watch the next video. You'll want to pull out the worksheet so you can follow along. I'll see you in the next video.